Look, if you want to have a really good, successful life, you got to be clear about stuff, and you got to start sending the qualifications, clients, friends, family, but more importantly, yourself.
He really does have a spreadsheet for dating. I think.
Yeah,
I'm
I do.
gonna stick
I have
with
them
his.
for friends as well, but that's a different one. I'll show that to you privately, Cory. But let's not digress. Is it clear what they want? You know, beyond just
What are
going,
the
I want to
options?
do ads. Like, yes or no.
Oh, just okay.
Like,
Yes.
I know it seems really overly simplistic, but you can't achieve something if you don't know what that thing is. And I think sometimes people also just come to agencies going, oh, yeah, like I've heard you're good. Can you just like take it over? It's like, well, what do you want? It's like, I just want you to run it and make it better. What does better look like?
Mm,
They don't
yeah.
know. And then if they do have an idea, is that a realistic result? Yes or no? Like if they're clear on what they want, is that realistic? They're like, oh, I want to get my cost per click, my cost per lead from $30 back down to $5 like it was 10 years ago because, you know, that's what it used to be 10 years ago. We've all had those. And I know this is going to be, this is just, by the way, this is just an internal thing. This is like a real, do they use the word scale?
I love it. Oh,
It's been
man.
real,
You might have to
guys.
explain that one. You might have to explain that one.
Okay. Okay. You know what, Cory? I'm going to let you explain it, even though this isn't a
Because you
spreadsheet.
don't want bro entrepreneurs that don't
Yeah.
actually have realistic goals and they just hear the word scale because they read the latest business book and
Exactly.
they
I think
throw
this
that word
usually
around too much.
this actually tends to come from in e-commerce. By the way, Cory, that's what I'm saying.
Oh
Cory, you're
yeah.
probably more versed in it. They're like,
Oh, I
yeah,
know
just
this
want to
one.
like scale our ad spend, scale our revenue. It's like, yeah, like who doesn't? But like the fact that they use that word, it's almost like a value. And I'm like, I get the sentiment of it, but it's like anytime I hear the word scale, it's like once again, it's bro language, which means they're not business owners.
I can just see you on the call just going, scale. Oh, okay. Let me just check that box real quick.
I do, mate. I do.
It's
And the reason
over.
why I do it, is this is pattern recognition, dude. Like I've worked I've worked with hundreds of businesses, worked at big agencies. Like there's just patterns, and you just got to be real with stuff. Like not be you can't be idealistic in business. You've got to be real. Like idealistic people are the visionaries who like 99% of the time fail, and then that 1% of the time create all the drama for the people who actually implement it. So
Yeah.
you know, I actually care about my team. So
Real quick, are these? Do these? I assume these all eventually get scored. And is it like a weighted score depending on the answer or which category, or how
yeah.
do you guys? Okay.
So there is a scoring system. If it's yes, it's a warning sign. If it's no, there's a score that comes. I'm not going to show that because I think their formula is a bit broken, but it will show like out of 100% what probability of success there is.
Okay.
Well, there was a few tabs at the bottom that I hid just for the privacy of the people who scored low and didn't work with us. So I'm not going to show those, but there is a scoring system. Communication. This is where we actually start to get to some of the rather than yes, no communication, low communication, and high communication. Now, the reason why no communication and high communication are in red is because high communication is usually bad, just bad.
Do you mean desired communication from them, or what does this mean?
You just kind of like get a sentiment of like what their communication style is going to be. Are they wanting to like email and jump on calls? Okay. Like, yeah, a lot.
Gotcha.
Now, there's also the no communication side where you have clients who just never get back to your emails and you send them 5 emails and they never get back. Now, that's really bad. That's really bad because you don't like it just puts you in this unknown area just going, what the hell do we do? Like I need feedback here. Like this is I'm doing work and I need a feedback loop. And whilst as much data I can have, we've got a few of those at the moment. Now it's good for like time, but it's really bad for just like your mental RAM going, this dude hasn't got back to me. I need to get back to him.
And if you have any performance incentives baked into your pricing, it can really be a big problem because then all of a sudden the sale already launched, no one told you, and then all of a sudden, like you're missing out on opportunities to spend more on areas that are working. So yeah, it can be a real big problem. So don't underestimate that. Yep.
Definitely. And then we go into low communication. Now, I say low communication, it could be just like an email once a week, once a fortnight, performance updates. They're like, yep, cool. Let's organize our monthly call. That's most of our clients. And that's what most clients should be like. Like, imagine if I was calling up my accountant every day. There'd be something wrong with me or my business versus my accountant. Like, we just touch base like maybe once a month, once every 2 months. Like, you've got to also understand that this is part of the qualification, is understanding the business and their requirements will actually start to influence the requirements of communication, which is time. Every email at least will take you 15 minutes. If you have to do 10 of those a week versus one a fortnight, that's a very different time capacity and a matrix of how you could work with clients. So understanding this communication, this can actually influence how much you need to charge a client. It's purely just based on the time or even the mental RAM. Like, no one ever goes, I love this client because they emailed me every day. They go, this client's stressing me out and is affecting my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the thing. You got to realize the mental health impact of having bad clients. Like, I've seen more than enough people who are good, like clear-headed people after they left an agency have like really bad mental health problems purely because of clients and purely because of communication. So I'm committed to myself and my team having good mental health. So I'm not going to ever compromise that by like one bad client, ever, ever.
Yep.
Catastrophizing. Do they catastrophize? Yes or no?
It's a good one to have in there. Yep.
Really good. Personality. Are they analytical or general?
I just want to add with catastrophizing, that is like a slow working poison inside your agency or as a freelancer. You go, okay, well, I get it. Performance has been bad recently. They're transitioning from one agency to another. Things seem to be bad, but man, it's very hard to draw the line between are they catastrophizing and not. I'm sure during these calls, you're kind of like, is this a no or is this a yes, right? How do you guys think about that?
Are you asking the audience right now or Michael
You.
Nadalin on behalf?
It's your spreadsheet. You. How do you kind of go? Yeah, this is a yes or a no. Because if it's a yes, that's a big problem. Yeah.
It's an intuition. You've just got to have people skills. You got to have emotional intelligence. You got to have enough experience of this stuff as well. It's like this checklist isn't going to bypass you from having to deal with real life. It's just you can really suss this stuff out. And like the issue with a lot of this is a lot of companies will have a salesperson selling and they don't pick up on this stuff and they don't really care because they're like, I just need to hit my sales quota. So like I just handball it off to the team. And then that's when like you said, the virus in the company begins. And then there's a cultural shift. And then people who used to be really positive are now burnt out and stressed and snappy. And then like it really just starts at on board. Like this is what, if you just get good clients, you'll have a good business. As in, doesn't even matter how much they pay you, because the amount of time, if they pay you half the amount of some other client, you might actually take like a third of the time. So they're actually more profitable and you can take more on. So got to move away from just the dollar amount. But the catastrophizing is you really got to try and elicit it out of them. But the reality is people, what's that saying? Like people, like who someone is so like clear that the words that like are so loud that the words they say you can't even hear them. Like people will just unconsciously show this stuff to you. And if they don't, if you ask them questions, it will elicit it out of them. I think questions are the most important thing. Just got to ask about a lot of things. They're trying to like enrich this mental map of this person. You don't want to like typecast people, but at the same time, you got to start to pick up. If you do a lot of these, rather than just going, oh, this person's bad because they've got a small budget. If I can go through all of this and these are all the different angles I can hit upon, I can then get a more enriched map rather than just going, yeah, they seem like they're catastrophizing. It's a no. Versus going, they've got realistic results. They're catastrophizing probably because their business is in a bad place, but I know I can do a good work because the business is good. It's a legit product. It's a legit service. And they actually seem like a good person. I just think they're probably a bit stressed right now.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of questions here to enrich that map rather than just going one or two things.
Right.
Personality, are they analytical or general? Now, this is the crazy thing. Everyone kind of says they're analytical because it sounds like you're smart, but they're not. So it's kind of like, don't ask people this. It's just kind of, you'll pick it up. It will be based on how they talk about things in the account as well. And sometimes the issue with analytical people is they're analytical on the wrong type of things, which means then you're going to have to be talking about you're going to have to educate them about that. Versus our best clients who make the most money have no idea about this stuff. They just go, yes, you get us lead and we get sales.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I don't want analytical people because they get in the way. Like, I get that some people do it because they're like, I need to know it to like trust like the agency. But it's like, look, I get that you got trust issues, but if you're bringing that into our relationship, no go.
And the more analytical they are, it's going to add to your overhead, your logistical overhead for reporting with the client, not just emails, but your monthly reporting calls or whatever your cadence is. It's also going to add to that. So consider those as well.
Yeah. The thing about my team says is about me is especially with the calls, I know all the data on all the clients, even if I don't work on them. I know it all. I know all the strategies. I know potential strategies, but I'll never ever go into a client call talking about the results. I'll talk about the results, but I'll never go into the weeds because that's never the conversation that moves a business forward, at least in my type of clients we work with. So I know all the data, and anytime someone brings something up, I can answer it on the spot. That's just like who I am as a person. It's not something you can learn. But then also I know that if I'm talking about results and the really in the weeds stuff too much, it actually is not what the client wants. They just want results. Talk about results and talk about strategy and move on. Like all this over analytical stuff, it's not needed for most businesses. I know for Cory, for your clients, it's definitely needed. But for a lot of just like honestly, 80 to 90% of businesses don't need that. They just need to get the result and have some strategy and just get on with life.
Yeah. Are we successful? Are we not? Why not?
Yeah.
What were expectations? What actually happened? That's a big part of it.
Yeah. Technical expertise, they're very technical, or they knows, or no, or they're not technical and they don't.
Yeah. That makes more sense with that context.
I know. So I kind of like understand that. And then also their position. Are they the owner? Are they a marketing manager? Are they an operations manager or someone else? Now, I don't know why the owner is in red. I personally prefer working with owners because it means that I say something, they agree, the team has to do it versus a marketing manager, operations manager usually have to go up for approval, then come down. I usually like the clients I work with, I always work with the business owner because it's like that's kind of just how the relationship ends up happening. And then that's why things actually get done. So probably
I could see that maybe it was an indicator of company size, right? If you're dealing directly with the owner, it indicates maybe a business is going to be a little bit too wanting all that in the weeds nuance, which doesn't really align with the spend in their account or the data volume, etc. I could see it being a warning flag, but not like a stop sign.
Yeah, well, in my case, once again, I don't think this for everyone. Business owners are busy, so they don't have time to be analytical, which is good. So it means I just get onto a call and go, the results are good. This is what's happening. This is what's this. This is what I recommend. What are your thoughts? And then just talk shit for the next hour or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It just means that the communication has to be direct versus sometimes with marketing managers, you've really just got to like give them everything. So then when they're reporting up, you're like giving them everything versus working with the business owner. They're just like, I didn't know this, this, and this. And you're like, sweet, here you go, here you go, here you go. What else is going on in life?
Yeah.
That's just me. That's my personality though. So these have got to fit the people who have to work with them. I prefer working with people who are business owners who make a lot of money, who just are busy. And they just go, yep, cool. We're going great. What else can we do? And it's as simple as that. I think the communication, again, that's been copied down. Not sure what's down there.
It's twice as important. That's why it's in there.
That's it, mate. That's it. Now, this is a concept called Elf and Half. It's from a guy called Joe Polish, and it's about clients. And you want to know, are they easy, lucrative, and do they seem like they're easy, lucrative, and fun? Or do they seem like they're going to be hard, lame, annoying, and frustrating? Usually this is more post the fact, but you can start to pick these patterns up after a while. And it's just trying to like get that.
Michael, we've talked about this before, but I just love hearing your take on this. What is lame? How would you define lame?
You know what lame is. It's just like, it's like the business is just like, like you can get the results, but you're just kind of like, is this going to be like you live once and you're like, is this really the type of work I want to be doing? Like, are these really the businesses I want to serve? Like, some people like, I love working with like, I'm just going to put it out there, like pest control or like electricians. I'm like, that's so lame. Like, do you know, there's just some industries, like, it's more like the industry is just like, even if I win, I lose. Like, even if I get them their results, I just feel like, is this what my life's worth? So just, yeah, that's what it is for me. Like, I've got a lot of mates who like love working in certain industries. I'm like, geez, I would rather just work at the local milk bar than work with them, just because it's just like, I know it's just like, it's just lame. You know, just like the industry is just like, really, really. So yeah, that's what I thought.
What's
What
a
are your
milk
thoughts?
bar? That was so Australian of you. I don't know what you
Oh,
said,
do
like a
you know what a milk bar? It's
McDonald's or what?
like a general store, a
Okay.
general store. So
That's like a milk
uh,
bar. That's the 1950s. What are we talking about?
it is. Corey, we've got 15 minutes left, so I definitely don't
Yeah,
think we're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get into the onboarding stuff,
No.
which you can do next week. But we'll keep going this. Do I like them as just a human? Like, am I actually like getting that vibe that I'm like, there's a connection here? Because like, you're gonna have to. We're spending our time working with these people, communicating with them, like taking on their problems. Like, we are taking on their problems. Like, we're here to solve problems, but also with all this stuff up here, like, am I willing to do this for this type of person? Do I actually like them? Am I interested in their business or industry? That kind of goes with the whole lame thing.
Hmm.
Does the market lead experience suit them? Like, do we have experience, or do we actually think that our experience is transferable over to them? We can make a really good impact. And once again, is this someone we want to work with? And you start to see like a part of these are kind of like some businessy things, but they're more just like personality based things, because people are the problem, not the business.